Most people think a watermelon is just a watermelon. You pick it up, you take it home, you cut it open. But behind every perfectly ripe, perfectly sized, blemish free watermelon sitting in a grocery store is a processing and packing operation running at a scale most people have never imagined. Millions of watermelons, sorted, graded, labeled, and shipped with industrial precision. This is what actually happens inside a modern watermelon facility. It starts in the field, and the field itself sets the tone for everything that follows. Commercial watermelon production in the United States is concentrated primarily in Florida, Georgia, Texas, and California states, with the warm temperatures, sandy, well-draining soils, and long growing seasons that watermelons require. The farms supplying large packing facilities are not small operations. A single commercial watermelon farm can cover hundreds or even thousands of acres, planted in long rows with precise spacing to allow mechanical access for harvest equipment and field workers. The varieties grown for commercial retail are selected specifically for uniformity, a critical requirement for a packing facility that needs to sort fruit into consistent size grades. Seedless varieties now dominate the commercial market, accounting for the large majority of watermelons sold at retail, because consumer preference shifted decisively toward seedless fruit over the past 2 decades and the supply chain followed. The seedless varieties grown for commercial packing are bred not just for seed absence, but for shelf life, rind thickness, sugar content consistency, and the ability to withstand mechanical handling without bruising qualities that matter enormously once the fruit enters the packing line. Harvest timing is determined by a combination of field assessment techniques. Field workers walk the rows and evaluate external indicators: the tendril nearest, the fruit stem drying and browning, the ground spot where the watermelon rests on the soil turning from white to a creamy yellow, the overall size of the fruit relative to the target weight range for the contracted variety. Some operations use refractometers, handheld devices that measure the sugar content of a small sample of juice drawn from the field to confirm that internal ripeness matches external indicators before harvest begins. Once the field is cleared for harvest, the operation moves fast. Watermelons do not improve significantly after being cut from the vine, and every day between harvest and retail shelf is a day of shelf life consumed. The harvest itself is largely manual at the point of picking, but mechanized at the point of transport. Field workers move through the rows, cutting the stem of each ripe watermelon with a blade and placing the fruit onto a conveyor belt running alongside a harvesting machine that travels slowly down the row. These harvesting machines, sometimes called watermelon harvesters or picking aids, carry a moving conveyor that field workers load by hand, feeding the fruit from ground level onto the belt, which carries it up and deposits it into a large bin or directly onto a bulk transport vehicle. A single harvesting crew working with this kind of equipment can pick and load tens of thousands of watermelons in a single day. The fruit travels from field to packing facility in open bulk trucks or in large field bins carried on flatbed trailers, stacked carefully to minimize movement and impact during transport. Even at this stage, bruise prevention matters. A bruised watermelon that passes through packing and reaches a consumer is a quality failure that reflects on the entire supply chain. At the packing facility, trucks are weighed on arrival and directed to the receiving area where fruit is unloaded onto the beginning of the packing line. The unloading method varies by facility design. Some operations use a dump station where the truck or bin tips its load onto a padded receiving bed that cushions the fruit as it falls and feeds it onto the line. Others use a manual offload, where workers transfer watermelons from the vehicle onto a conveyor by hand, one fruit at a time. The manual approach is gentler but slower. Facilities handling very high daily volumes tend toward mechanized unloading with padded surfaces and water flumes, channels of moving water that float watermelons from the receiving point toward the wash station, using the fruit's natural buoyancy to move it gently without the impact of conveyor-to-conveyor transfers. Watermelons float easily, and water flumes are common in facilities that prioritize bruise minimization at the receiving stage. From receiving, the fruit enters the wash system, and this is where the visible transformation of the watermelon from a field product to a retail product begins. The wash line uses a combination of water sprays and rotating soft bristle brush rollers to clean the rind surface of each watermelon as it passes through. Field soil, Dust, vine residue, and any surface organic material is scrubbed free by the brush rollers while the spray nozzles above and below the conveyor saturate the rind surface with water. The brush roller speed and water pressure are calibrated to be effective without damaging the rind. The waxy outer layer of the watermelon's skin is its primary protection against moisture loss and microbial entry, and aggressive scrubbing that breaks down that wax layer shortens shelf life. After the brush wash, the fruit passes through a rinse section where clean water removes the loosened debris. The exit of the wash section is where the watermelons first begin to look like retail product clean rind, the green and pale green striping visible and bright, the surface free of the field dust that arrived with them. Immediately after washing, each watermelon passes through a drying section, a passage of air jets and soft absorbent rollers that remove surface water before the fruit moves to the next station. Surface moisture left on the rind at this point causes two problems downstream. It prevents the wax coating applied later from adhering properly, and it creates conditions favorable to mold development on the rind surface during storage and transit. The drying section is quick, and the fruit exits it visibly drier, the rind surface now showing the full color and pattern of the variety. From drying, the watermelons move on to the inspection conveyor, a brightly lit section of the line where human inspectors evaluate each fruit as it passes and remove any that show disqualifying defects. The inspection conveyor moves slowly enough for workers positioned along both sides to assess each watermelon from multiple angles. The fruit rotates on the conveyor either by the design of the belt surface or by small rotating rollers embedded in the conveyor so that all sides of the rind become visible to the inspectors as it passes. Inspectors are looking for a specific set of defects: significant surface scarring or cuts that expose the rind interior, large soft spots that indicate internal breakdown, severe shape distortion that will prevent the fruit from sitting stably on a flat surface, and any signs of disease or mold on the rind surface. Minor surface blemishes, small russeting from field contact with soil or vine, and slight color variation within the normal range for the variety are generally acceptable at this stage. Fruit with disqualifying defects is pulled from the line and directed to a separate channel depending on the nature of the defect. Rejected fruit may be sold to juice processors, donated to food banks, or composted. Minimal usable material leaves the operation as pure waste. Fruit that passes inspection continues forward to the sizing and grading system, and this is where the technology in a modern watermelon facility becomes genuinely impressive. High-volume watermelon packing facilities use automated sizing systems based on weight, volume, or a combination of both. Weight-based sizing is the most common approach. Each watermelon passes over or through a weighing mechanism that measures its mass precisely and communicates the reading to a sorting system downstream. The sorting system uses this weight data to direct each fruit into the correct size grade channel through a series of diverters, padded arms or gates positioned at intervals along the conveyor that activate when a fruit of the corresponding weight reaches them. Standard retail size grades are defined by weight ranges. Small, personal size watermelons typically run under 10 pounds. Standard round watermelons are commonly graded in ranges such as 14 to 18 pounds and 18 to 22 pounds. Oblong varieties have their own corresponding weight brackets. The grading precision of these systems matters because retailers order by size grade and price by size. A pallet of mixed sizes that don't match the order specification creates problems at the retail end of the chain. Some modern facilities supplement weight-based sizing with optical volume estimation camera systems that capture the three-dimensional profile of each watermelon from multiple angles and calculate its volume based on the image data. Volume-based sorting can distinguish between two watermelons of the same weight but different shape, which is useful for operations that separate round from oblong varieties on the same line. The camera data is also used in some facilities for surface color assessment, automated color grading that evaluates the background color and stripe pattern of each fruit against the visual standard for the contracted variety, flagging fruit that falls outside the acceptable color range before it can be manually inspected and either passed or rejected. After sizing and grading, the watermelons move into the waxing station, a step that most consumers never think about, but that has a direct impact on the shelf life and appearance of every retail watermelon they buy. The wax applied to commercial watermelons is food grade approved for direct food contact and typically made from carnauba wax, shellac, or a combination of food approved wax components. It is applied as a diluted liquid spray over the rind surface as the watermelons pass through the waxing station, and then buffed by rotating soft bristled brushes that distribute the wax evenly across the entire surface and bring it to a light shine. The wax performs two functions. It slows moisture loss through the rind. A waxed watermelon retains its internal water content more effectively during the days between packing and consumption, maintaining firmness and eating quality. It also enhances the visual appearance of the rind surface, brightening the green and pale green coloring, and giving the fruit the clean, fresh look that influences consumer purchasing decisions at the retail shelf. After the wax brushes, the fruit passes through a brief warm air drying section that sets the wax layer before the sticker application station. The sticker application station is where each individual watermelon receives its PLU label, the small printed sticker that carries the price lookup code used at retail checkout, along with the brand name, variety name, country of origin, and in some cases the farm or grower identification. The stickers are applied by automated label applicators, machines that peel individual stickers from a backing roll and press them onto the rind surface of each passing watermelon at a precise position. The adhesive on PLU labels is food grade and designed to adhere to the waxy rind surface without requiring aggressive adhesive strength, since the labels need to be removable by the consumer. Getting the label to adhere reliably to a wax surface is actually a technical consideration. Too little adhesive and the label falls off in transit, creating a traceability and retail problem. Too much, and it damages the rind surface when removed. Label placement is monitored because a label that lands over a blemish or in a difficult position on the rind surface affects the retail presentation of the fruit. From the sticker station, the graded, waxed, and labeled watermelons move into the packing area where they are loaded into the retail and wholesale packaging formats that carry them to their final destinations. Standard retail watermelons destined for grocery store display are typically packed into cardboard bins or wooden field bins that hold a specified count of fruit, the count determined by the size grade, since more smaller fruit or fewer larger fruit fill the same bin volume. Bins are lined where needed, and the fruit is placed by hand or by padded mechanical transfer systems. For personal-size watermelons, the small, round, typically seedless variety that fits in a standard refrigerator and has become increasingly popular over the past decade, a different packing format is common. These smaller fruit are often packed into cardboard cartons in specific counts, or in some cases into plastic mesh netting that allows retail display in stacked or hanging presentations. The packing format is determined by the retailer's order specification, and the packing line may run multiple formats simultaneously on parallel packing stations handling different size grades. Large whole watermelons heading to club stores or bulk retailers may be packed on slip sheet pallets with no bin at all, stacked directly onto the pallet surface in a pattern that supports the weight of upper layers without damaging the fruit beneath, then pallet wrapped for stability. This pallet pack format is used where the retailer has floor space for pallet display and the purchasing model is built around high-volume bulk sales. Across all formats, the filled bins, cartons, or pallets move to the palletizing station where they are stacked to the appropriate height for the shipping mode refrigerated truck, container, or rail. Completed pallets are stretch wrapped for load stability, then labeled with packing facility identification, size grade, variety, pack date, and the retailer or distributor routing code. These labels are the traceability backbone of the distribution chain. Every pallet can be tracked from the moment it leaves the packing facility. Labeled pallets move into the pre-cooling area, one of the most important steps in the entire post-harvest chain, and one that has a larger impact on shelf life than almost any other single intervention. Watermelons arrive from the field, carrying the heat accumulated during their time on the vine and in the sun, and that field heat accelerates the metabolic processes inside the fruit that lead to quality deterioration. Removing field heat quickly and efficiently extends the effective shelf life by days. The pre-cooling method most commonly used for watermelons is forced air cooling pallets are placed in a sealed or semi-sealed cooling room where high-volume fans draw refrigerated air through the palletized fruit, removing heat from the rind and gradually from the interior. The target exit temperature from pre-cooling is typically around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, cool enough to significantly slow deterioration while remaining above the chilling injury threshold that damages watermelon flesh at very low temperatures. From pre-cooling, the pallets move into refrigerated holding storage, where they are maintained at the target temperature until the outbound truck is ready for loading. Transit temperature management continues through refrigerated trucking to the distribution center or directly to the retail receiving dock. The cold chain from packing facility to retail is maintained continuously. A break in temperature management at any point between pre-cooling and retail display can shorten the effective shelf life enough to produce consumer level quality complaints. At the retail level, the watermelon is unboxed or removed from its bin, placed on the display floor or shelf, and the PLU label applied 2 facilities ago is scanned at checkout. From that field in Florida or Georgia or Texas to the checkout scanner, the fruit has passed through receiving, washing, drying, inspection, sizing, grading, waxing, labeling, packing, palletizing, pre-cooling, cold storage, and refrigerated transport, an industrial process most consumers compress in their minds to simply picking up a watermelon. The scale of it is worth holding for a moment. The United States alone produces roughly 3 to 4 billion pounds of watermelons annually. Every pound of that passed through a facility like this one, handled by workers and machines operating continuously through the summer harvest season, moving fruit from field to consumer with a speed and precision that keeps quality intact across thousands of miles of supply chain. That is what a modern watermelon facility actually does, and it does it every single day that the harvest is running. If this kind of behind-the-scenes look is what you watch for, a like takes 1 second and makes a real difference. Subscribe for more facility and supply chain documentaries, and leave a comment below telling us which fruit, vegetable, or food product you want to see traced from farm to shelf next. There is always more happening behind the scenes than anyone realizes.